All right, let's talk about something that hits close to home for so many of us, money stress. Today, we're going to dig into a plan for anyone who is just done with it. It's a pretty radical, no-fluff way to get a grip on your finances and, actually build a life of real freedom. Let's jump in.
Wow. This quote it nails it, doesn't it? It's the perfect snapshot of this culture we're in, where taking on debt has become so normal we don't even blink. I mean, we've been sold this idea of the good life that's really just keeping us chained to payments, loaded with stress, and feeling like we can never, ever get ahead. But what if normal is actually the last thing we should be shooting for?
Okay, so let's be real for a minute. What does normal actually look like for millions of people out there? This whole plan is based on the idea that for a lot of us, the so-called American dream has turned into a total financial nightmare. And, the very first step to changing any of that is just admitting you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Does any of this sound familiar? That constant, nagging stress, the fights about money with your partner, that sinking feeling of hopelessness when you look at the bills? It's that feeling of being on a hamster wheel, right? You're running and running as fast as you can, but you're not getting anywhere. Recognizing that feeling, that I've had enough moment, that's the real starting line for a total money makeover.
So, how does this even happen? How do so many of us wind up in this spot? Well, it's almost never one big catastrophic mistake. It's more like that old boiling frog analogy. You know the one. If you drop a frog into boiling water, it jumps right out. But if you put it in nice, comfortable water and then just slowly, gradually turn up the heat, it won't even notice the danger until it's way too late. And that's exactly what debt is. It's that slowly heating water. A student loan here, a car payment there. It just creeps up on you until suddenly you're boiling in financial trouble.
So if you want to get out of that hot water, it's not enough to just change what you're doing. You've got to go deeper. You have to change what you believe about money. It's time to face down these money myths that we've all just kind of accepted as truth. Because what if everything you've ever been taught about money is just plain wrong? Okay, here it is, the biggest myth of them all. Debt is a tool. We hear this all the time, right? That it's some kind of sophisticated strategy to build wealth. The truth? It's a whole lot harsher. This whole plan is built on a really old piece of wisdom. The borrower is slave to the lender. I mean, think about it. Debt completely changes the game. Your paycheck isn't really yours anymore. It belongs to the bank. And there's absolutely no way to be free when you're a slave to your payments.
And speaking of normal, what's more normal than a car payment, right? We just accept it as a part of life. But get ready for this. Check out these numbers. On a straight-up cash sale, a car dealer might pocket, around $80. But on a lease or a finance deal, whoa, their profit shoots up to over $1,000. That car payment you have? It's not building your future, it's building theirs.
Yeah, but I hear you. How am I supposed to function without a credit card? That's a real fear people have. The truth is, a debit card, which, is connected to money you actually have, will do pretty much all of it. Booking hotels? Check. Renting cars? Yep. Shopping online? You got it. The idea that you need a credit card is probably one of the most powerful lies out there, designed to keep us all hooked on borrowing.
And if you need any more proof, look no further than this. It just drives the point home perfectly. If you want to be wealthy, stop listening to your broke friends or the credit card commercials. Listen to actual rich people. And guess what? The overwhelming majority of them say the single best way to build wealth is to get and stay debt-free. They are not using the same tools that are keeping everybody else trapped.
All right, so we've smashed the myths. Now what? Well, now we get to the solution, the actual plan. The path to financial freedom isn't some giant, impossible leap. It's a series of small, doable steps. You know that old saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So let's take that first bite.
Baby step 1. This is it. Before you do anything else, you need to create a little buffer between you and, life. Your first mission, should you choose to accept it, is to save a $1,000 starter emergency fund. I'm talking sell stuff, work extra hours, deliver pizzas, whatever it takes to get that cash in the bank and fast. This one little step stops that vicious cycle of swiping a card every time a tiny emergency pops up. Okay, next up, we have the debt snowball. And honestly, this is where things get really, really interesting. So you list out all your debts, everything but your house, not by interest rate, but from the smallest balance to the largest. Then you throw every extra penny you have at that smallest one. Now, you might be thinking, wait, that doesn't make sense mathematically. And you're right, but this plan isn't about math, it's about behavior. When you knock out that first little debt, you get this quick, powerful win. It gives you hope, it builds momentum. Then you take every dollar you were paying on that debt and you roll it onto the next one, creating this, well, a snowball. It just gets bigger and faster and more powerful as you go.
And once all that non-mortgage debt is just gone, that's when the real fun begins. That's when you pivot to actually building wealth. Step 3 is where you beef up that emergency fund to a full 3 to 6 months of expenses, so you're truly secure. Then, step 4, you start investing 15% of your income for retirement. Step 5 is saving for your kids' college. And then the second to last big mountain to climb, step 6, paying off your house early. And after all that comes the ultimate prize, baby step 7, where you build insane wealth and get to give with a generosity you never ever thought was possible.
But there's a catch. Of course there's a catch. This whole plan, all 7 of these steps, it only works if you bring one secret ingredient to the table. It's not enough to just go through the motions. You have to totally change your mindset, your whole approach.
And this is it. It's called gazelle intensity. Just picture it. A gazelle is being hunted by a cheetah. That gazelle isn't taking a light jog, right? It is running for its life. That is the kind of energy we're talking about, a sold-out, laser-focused intensity. It means you're going to have to say no to some things now so you can say a huge yes to your future. Yeah, your friends might think you've lost your mind for a little while, but that intensity, that's the fuel that's going to power you right through the tough spots and all the way to the finish line.
So why? Why go through all this sacrifice and intensity? What's the whole point? It's all about the prize. It's about what is waiting for you on the other side of this journey. Let's talk about the incredible freedom you are running towards.
This right here. This is the mantra for the entire thing. Live like no one else, so later you can live like no one else. For a little while, and it's a temporary season, you're going to make sacrifices. You're going to live differently than anyone you know. You'll say no to going out to eat. You'll drive that paid-for beater car with pride. You will stop trying to keep up with the Joneses who, by the way, are probably broke. And you do all this so that later, for the rest of your life, you get to live and give in a way that almost no one else can.
So let's just end on this thought. I want you to really truly imagine this for a second. What would your life be like with absolutely no payments? No car payment, no student loans, no credit card bills, not even a mortgage. Your entire paycheck is yours, all of it, every single month. What would you do with that money? Where would you go? Who would you be able to help? That freedom, that's the goal. And the whole point of this plan is that it's not just a dream. It's absolutely within your reach.